Hello, everybody. Lady Gwendolyn here for a special episode of Under the Rowan Tree. And joining me tonight is one of my favorite people, David Jervis.
Hello, happy people.
So we've worked together quite often in the past with online stuff, but you're doing something a little different here coming up.
Yeah,
Before we get to that, let's tell a little bit of people about what it is that you do, what keeps you going, a little bit about yourself for those of you who don't know.
well, I'm a tarot card reader, Smoky Wisdom Tarot. Most people call me Smoky, and I read tarot. But to give you some background on me, once upon a time I was a Jehovah's Witness for about 15 years, and so I was into religion a lot. Then I got out of that, and then I turned towards witchcraft and started getting into that. So that's about where I'm at now. And I do events, I go places now. At first, it was hard for me at one time. Didn't have a ride, but now I'm able to go and do things. So that's about what I do now. I read tarot and I do my little witchy stuff here at the house, making things. And
So are you doing things for other people or just yourself in your own practice?
Well, I do stuff for me, but then some people reaches out and they want some things done for them too, because here I'm not the witch that is in the broom closet. So everybody knows. And then there's some people coming out of the closet now, and they're starting to message me and asking me about the sigil magic, candle magic. They trying to get into it, and they're trying to learn a lot about that kind of stuff. So the only thing I could tell them to do, like I could show them things, but then they would really need to get a book or something, on sigils, and because there's so many different ways to make them, and they have to find the way that would feel right to them on which way to make it.
Oh yeah.
I can show them several ways, and what I do with sigils, like just before I do my tarot readings, I go around my house on the outside and draw sigils and stuff. I also put sigils on candles. I don't know if you can see that one.
Yes.
So which I will put sigils and stuff on candles and different things, and so I do that, and right along with the candle magic and stuff. So yeah, and so yeah, there've been a few people that has reached out. That there's some that's coming out of the closet, I guess, and I don't even know why they still get in the closet these days. I mean, everybody else done came out, so I mean, might as well just come. You might as well just come on out,
It's a party out here. Just come and join.
Yeah.
One of us.
That's what I say. I say there ain't no sense in hiding it or doing whatever. I mean, people just got to change the rules, is all I can say. You just come out and there's enough of you. I mean, rules will change. But yeah, but that's about what I've been doing. I've been doing sigil magic and stuff, and I have been doing like servitors and stuff like that too. And then that's what we're going to get ready to talk about tonight. Something I'm getting ready to do.
All right. So, what kind of magic is a servitude?
Well, this is like something that could help you. There's different types. It depends on what you want to make. It's a thought form that you're bringing to life, or you're putting it in something. There's some people will make a servitor and kind of put it in like a bottle or maybe a ring or something, and it depends on how you're going to program it, because what it is, it's really a part of you. It's your energy that you're putting in it, and you're giving it direction on how you want that energy spent. for an example, at some people will make servitors, like if they got a business, that they will send a servitor out to find like-minded people, find people that would be interested in the stuff that they're doing, and to draw them to them and stuff. So it works in that aspect, you know. So there's people that does that. Some will make it for protection. I mean, like, you can have more than one. You can make one to do one thing, you have another one to do something else. And but like I said, it's a part of you. So if it goes acting weird, that's probably because you're weird and you didn't know it. But yeah, and it sends out and it finds like-minded people. Now, like about a year or so back whenever I met you all and I was doing the thing, I had one to find like-minded people. So that's how I ended up running into you guys, and now I'm running into all kinds of other people and stuff like that. So yeah, so now that's what it's for, you know. And then sometimes it could be you can make one to help give you confidence or something, like when you're giving a speech or something on stage, you might need to feel like that you got somebody there with you or something, and you can make a servitor that would be there to help you with that.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask at any point in time.
Okay.
Would you I know we're on here to talk about magic, but 'tis the season. Are you open to doing any readings while we're on here?
I could be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because when
but
we
no,
know
I can't
that,
see any comments or nothing. So just let
oh,
me know. I
okay.
didn't see
I'll
any.
take care of it. Brenda said hello to me and you both.
Hello. Yeah. So, so what I'm going to be doing during this month, I have gotten a doll, and I'm going to make a servitor for the doll. I'm going to put a servitor in the doll. You may have heard people talk about haunted objects and stuff that people have in like museums and stuff, and then if they're like, well, they have like a haunted doll or a haunted spoon or something. Um, a lot of times at the haunted dolls, which they have, is a servitor, and it was programmed to do certain things. Like, I'm going to program this one to watch over my stuff, and if somebody messes with it, I want it to play like mind tricks on them, make them think that they seen things, or they heard laughter, or something fell, something like that. And if they steal something off of me, if they don't bring it back within 3 days, then they are to lose something of equal or greater value to them.
Okay.
So that's how I'm programming this one to work. And so what happens is, a lot of people, they get these dolls and they put them in these museums and they talk about the haunted dolls, and they don't recognize on what that is, because usually it could be like a witch or a magician or somebody who has created it. And then when they passed on, the doll is still here. And then somebody grab it, put it up there and talk about it. And then if they got some of my other stuff that's in there, then it would be still watching over it. Then when somebody takes it, then they say, man, I had nightmares, I seen things, and all sorts of stuff. And they wonder where it all coming from. And it's coming from that servitor.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just putting it all in like a nutshell there. Just throw it all together.
Yes. So do you think that ones like Annabelle and Robert are servitudes?
It probably was. It was probably a thought form which somebody had created, But now, see, there's different things, because sometimes they could be energy that people has left behind, but that's also within the servitor. The difference is that with the servitor is that you're programming it to act a certain way. But if you got something that belonged to someone who passed, they didn't really put a servitor in it, it could still yet have that person's energy. You know, So it's kind of like it, but it wasn't really programmed, so you don't know what's going to happen with that one. It could have a few things.
Okay.
But the ones that are being made, like the ones I'm doing, and it's programmed. It's kind of like a computer program. It's not going to step out of that program. It's going to do those things, and those is the only things it's going to do. You know.
Okay. Well, we got a few people watching, so are you ready to go ahead and go through the steps, or to tell people
Well,
what you're going for?
well, like I said, that I got the dog, and I'm going to be programming it to watch over my tools and stuff. And
Mhm.
then in order to do that, you know, now how I do it is that I speak over it. I've been speaking over this one here for the past 7 days. I've been talking about what its jobs and stuff is, like how I'm going to feed it. So people say, well, how do you feed a servitor? Well, and you can figure out if you want to feed it like some incense or some candles or something. But this particular one, I'm going to have it to be kind of dormant until somebody messes with something, and then it will feed off of them, off of their fears and whatever that they have. So it's going to be a haunted dog.
So kind of a vampiric servitude.
Yes, it's going to feed off of the people. So see, that's what I'm saying. And then if they steal something, if they don't bring it back within 3 days, then they will lose something of equal or greater value.
Okay.
So it's just something. I like that stuff. It just get me hyped up. But yeah,
It's great. I mean, it's great to experience different types of magic and to share it, because there's a lot of people within the community that don't know where to start. There's a lot of people that have
right,
been studying for years and may have never heard of this before. So
right,
still everyone is learning something new.
right. Absolutely. I mean, I learned something new almost every week. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I'm always watching videos, and then I'm buying up a lot of different books and stuff, and then they'll have certain things in those books that say something. I say, wait a minute, I didn't know this. And then it make you want to go do more research on that particular subject and see who else got a book written on it. You know, that's like a egg, like the egregore. Well, like in the Jewish people, they used to take clay, and it said, and they brought it to life to protect them. So
Mhm.
you can go and look up that. I think it's called a golem or something like that. So, which you can go look that up, and then you can see how that they used a golem. And I think there was a story where a golem protects the whole village or something. So it's some interesting readings and some things to think on.
Do you think, now this is a little bit out there, but do you think that people can use I mean, their deity statues to imbue qualities of the deities? Or do you feel like that's a little bit like off limits?
Well, you could go in several different directions. There's one thing about making a servitor, but then there's also some other stuff that you can do. You can have like a spirit put in a dog, like of your deity. You can have them to dwell in that. Like you can um, also, like with ancestors, you can make a space, and you can make an object for them to anchor to this world, to where that you can use that object to communicate with them anytime that you want to. So if there's different types of magic, there's different levels. And you can't just jump in there and say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create me a demon. So, you know, like at there's certain levels, you can't just jump in. You better first read all that you can about it, learn, but then learn stuff. And so learning is the biggest thing. Is buy you some books, read, watch some videos, watch where other people has done it, listen to what has happened and how it works.
I mean, seriously, there's no excuse for not putting in the work, especially when we have technology as it is now. And you
Yeah,
can just type in a word and everything shows up.
yes. The thing that I have found around me, a lot of people want me to give them the answers instead of them looking it up themselves. I'd like to just give them something to look at and then let them go off and then
Yes.
go look at more of it. I don't want to give you everything at once, because then what happens is you haven't learned it. You're just going to go off and say what Dave said, you know.
Right.
But then if you went and actually studied it, you'd be like, I was reading. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a different outlook. It's it's kind of like when I was a Jehovah's Witness. If I read the Bible to you, well, you say, well, that's what Dave said. But if I had you to read the part that I wanted you to read, now it's not what I said. It's what you have read. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It makes a difference on like how it is presented to you. If I deliver it to you and you already think I'm a whack job, you're not going to believe it, you
Yeah.
know. But if I can give you a piece of it, and then you go out and do your own research and find out all through history, this is what has happened. Now it's not what I said, it's what's in history,
Mhm.
so now it becomes different, you know. So but now that's what I find is that a lot of people try to get one person to give them all of the answers instead of them putting in the work, you know.
Yeah, and it's tough whenever you got people that want to learn and they have a list and you're like, okay, where do you feel closest to you want to begin? What do you feel is drawn most to you? You know,
Right.
it's really hard for a lot of new practitioners to focus on one thing at a time because they're so excited they want to learn everything, which I
Right.
totally get. Been there, done that.
Right. And then sometimes the way I might do something might not work for you because you got a different thought process. So therefore you got to approach it a different way. You know, it could be a number of things. Maybe some of the ingredients that I use you might be allergic to. So now you got to do it all differently. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Because you
like
don't touch them things.
mm, there is I was gonna tell a story. Um whenever you brought that up, it triggered my memory. So there is a Welsh witchcraft author that is well known, and she said that she normally doesn't read comments from her books that she's written, but people complain whenever they're studying Welsh witchcraft, they're not from there. So the herbs and stuff that she would have, they wouldn't have, and they were upset because there was no substitute in there. That's whenever you go and you do your own research.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
And
because in other parts of the country, the plants are different, y'all. You know,
across the country, across the world, and
like
it's finding out what's local to you that is going to have the same effect.
right. It's like here in West Virginia, I don't have a palm tree. know,
No,
I just don't have a palm tree. I'm sorry. So I don't know if you're doing a spell using palm tree. I don't know, so where am I going to get a palm tree? I got to go, I got to travel.
yeah, long way.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that's one of the things that happens to me is that people wants me to give them all of the answers. And then another thing that happens to me is I have people who claim that they're into witchcraft and everything. And then they go talking to people, and then the people they talking to, then they want to get in it. And then instead of them trying to show them something, they say, well, I know a guy. I mean, like, why didn't you show them something? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you
Yeah.
talking to me? I mean, you're the one claiming you was in it. You should be able to talk,
Yeah.
you should be able to say something. And so they start doing that number. I know a guy. Let me send him over here. I know a person. Let me send you over there, And
When you
and
do your readings, do you have a lot of people distract from the readings by answering magical questions? Or are they legit there for the readings? Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Not following me. Okay. So what this weekend you're going live doing your tarot readings, right?
Right.
Okay. So say you're in there and someone comes in, is there anyone that sometimes interrupts you doing your readings to ask magical questions?
And there's
They,
there's sometimes that there's people that come in there like bots trying to pull people away to go somewhere else.
oh, well, yeah.
So, you know, but now, far as a magical question, I haven't really had that yet. But I've had people who ask questions, about will their boyfriends or whatever get back
Oh,
together
yeah.
and different things, you know. But I haven't had them to ask me about magic yet on that. So that's why I try to have like little talk shows like this. Like I usually go up on Mad G, and then we do like and we talk about everything magical there. So if anybody has any questions, then they can come there and shoot. And we talk about everything,
Absolutely.
and we like you can ask about whatever, but then we'll tell you, you know.
Well, that's the new direction for Under the Rowan Tree. As I said, this is Rowan Temple of Lights Under the Rowan Tree. We are doing things a little bit differently. This is a special episode for the season, and but I want to bring on more magical people from the community to talk about their path and share things that they've learned or something that they feel like it's important for the community to know or to learn, because Rowan Temple of Light at the heart is about education, and so that's why we do the things that we do. So there, I'll shoot it back over to you. What's something that you feel like the community needs to know?
And they need to know that they are the magician. The things that they have in their life that they created that. That's what they need to know. So if they want something different, then they can create something different because they are the magician. Whatever you focus on, that's what you will manifest. That's what you will bring to you. Now, different people focus that they have a little difference. It's kind of like I would use the alcoholic. Like you take a person that's homeless and then that is an alcoholic, ain't got no money, but yet he seems to be able to get a beer a day or something.
Mhm.
He's able to get his alcohol. The reason for that is because he focused on it. And if he could do that and him broke, then think how much more you could do, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the things that you focus on, that's what you manifest. And you can look around into your own house and see what you have manifested.
Mhm. I thought it was funny when you said that because this mug says you are full of magic.
That's right. You
It
are
was,
the
it was a
magician.
gift. It was a gift from Lady Morgana, so it was a reminder that I too sometimes am a bad bitch.
Yeah. I like that, about that. We are the magician. It's kind of like what, like whenever I went to church and stuff, that they would say, the kingdom of God is within you. And it took me becoming a witch to understand that fully. That means that if the kingdom of God is in you, but then you got the power, you got everything in you, you know, to create the stuff that you need. You just got to learn how to manifest it. And then that's the part that a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to put into work to learn how. And I'll just give you an example on like how to do it in like a small level. One is you cut channels. Like if you're wanting to manifest some money, I'm just going to say it like that. Well, then once you've done and lit your candles and did your just whatever it is that you did, now you got to cut channels by like having a yard sale. Like if you're looking for a job, you got to put in the application. The application is your channel. It's not about sitting here wishing that money would fall out of the sky and land on your front porch. It's not Harry Potter. It's moving towards the spell which you had casted. You want a job, okay? Then you cast your spell. Now start cutting your channels and get your job. So you go out and put in your applications.
Yeah, that's one thing that bothers me whenever a client comes. I feel so bad, but I'm like, have you put in applications? Are you looking? No. That's a great place to start, darling.
That's like people would ask me, so when would I get a job, Dave? And I pull a couple of cards, look at it, and I could tell them, summer, winter, fall, whatever. That's when they're going to get their best job. But if they still yet don't put into applications, then they're not even going to get that job.
No.
And that's what I tell them. You all can change a prediction. I mean, if I tell you when, and then all of a sudden you don't put into work, well, then you still ain't getting it.
Yeah.
You got to put into work. That's like whenever I did a prosperity spell and stuff like that, then I had people contacting me, said, Dave, you want to come to this event? Then I go, yeah. You see, I used to be, I don't know, I don't have a right. But see, I learned to not do that no more. And then now I go, so now I get to
I'm
go.
excited that you're getting out there now and able to do things. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I was like last year, like I went on the haunted house investigations and I was reading tarot cards for that guy. He had me come up and read tarot cards while people was doing their haunted investigation. So I went and I was doing that, so that was fun. Then I was invited to come to Psychic Saturdays and stuff. Then I started going and started doing some Psychic Saturdays. And then I was invited to start showing up at events and things. So so I started showing up. So, so what happened was, and I did my sigils and stuff for prosperity. And then the opportunity came. The only thing I had to do was cut the channels to go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hey, look, yeah, sure. And then like even now, like we call them up because sometimes you got to call opportunity up. It don't always knock. You got to call it up onto the telephone and say, hey, you got an opening for another reader? You got something going on? And then tell them, say, hey, I'd like to be at your event, or something.
Know your target. Know your target and remember how to say yes.
Mm-hmm. Like I always tell them, do not take no for an answer. But now that don't mean to be a bully. That just means you keep trying.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you couldn't go with this one. Well, let's see what else is on the table.
Yeah.
Like whenever people fix a big dinner, you have more than just turkey. Like if there's some sides and stuff that you can grab a hold of. There's other things on the table. So if you can't go to this event, then let's see what the next one is over here.
Yeah.
You might find yourself going to Ohio, Kentucky, or you don't know where you're going to end up, But if you're wanting to do it, then you can contact the people who are doing it in order to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't just sit back and say, I don't know where to look.
You have to step outside of your comfort zone too. Mm-hmm. You might not feel like something, you're like, man, I don't know, But hey, you really do. You got to step outside of your comfort zone. Once you realize that you are the magician and you're in control of what comes to you and everything, why then if you want it, well, then you know it's out there. You just got to make the proper channel to get to it, you know?
Yeah. So, when are you going to do this, and tell us what your plan is for this? So you're going to record it and then release it. When are you going to do it? All that information.
Well, I'm wanting to do it tomorrow because it's the full moon. So now that's when I'm wanting to do it. So, but then I got to upload it, and I don't know how much time would it take to upload it or whatever, but I'm wanting to do it tomorrow. I'm wanting to put the servitor into the dock because I've been speaking over it, telling it its operations, its program and everything. And then I figured the full moon would be the best time to bring it to life and then have it up and running. So by the time the video gets up, it would already be up and running, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, it's the full moon in Aries. It's the biggest supermoon of the year.
Yes.
So there's a lot of power.
Yes.
And if you're harnessing that for that purpose, then that's perfect, perfectly timed.
So now that's what we're going to do, and then I'll try to have the video up within the week after. You know, I'll try to do it within the next day, but I don't know how. I don't. It depends on Facebook. If it'll let me upload it fast enough, I might have to transfer it to the computer. You know, so
Yeah.
now we'll figure it out on. So now once we get it on video, and then that's the first step, and then the second step will be to try to get it up on Facebook, because I know there's a few times I try to upload things that time out, you know, and then I have to go back and redo it. But if you send it through the computer, I think it gets up there better. So we'll see how it's going to work.
well, once you get it loaded up, we will get it shared onto West Virginia Pagan Calendar, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
All right, and that's how we'll load it up on. We'll share it on our Rowan Temple of Light page, and we'll share it in West Virginia Pagan Calendar. If you are not a part of West Virginia Pagan Calendar, that is a group where you see all of the current events, what's coming up, as far as classes, events, things like that. I got a little bit of information about some events that are coming up. So first up is the Backwoods Witches Shaman Samhain celebration, and that is being put on by Rowan Temple of Fire. Rowan Temple of Light priestess Lady Minerva is now running Rowan Temple of Fire over in the Parkersburg area. So this is their first event. So we will be initiating new members into the circle. We will have a fire and a potluck. There will be a couple of classes. Really excited about everything that Rowan Temple of Fire is doing over there. Also, that is an event for all ages. Kids are welcome. And then it's in Vienna at the McDoga Wildlife Refuge, not refugee. It's Saturday, October 26th. And then on the 31st is hold on, let me get the correct information here. So there is a new covenant starting over in the southern part of the state. It's in the Greenbrier and surrounding counties, surrounding areas, put it that way. And their event is October 31st at Hearts Run. They are having a fire, and you can come dressed as your costume as well. And it'll be from 9 to 11 p.m. So they're doing a nighttime thing, and they've got some information on their page as to what all's going. So if you're looking to if you're in that area and you're looking for a group to join, they're called Pagans of Greenbrier and Surrounding Areas Coven is the name of the Facebook group. And that's just been started within the past 2 weeks, but they've been working really hard to get that set up. Any events that you know of?
Not right off.
Okay. Also so in the Charleston area on November 6th, I do believe Metro Valley Pagan Pride is having its next planning meeting. So if you're interested in that, get a hold of Shannon or Dottie, or join their Facebook group, where you can get information and be part of the community down there. And then also on, I think it's November 7th and 8th, or 8th and 9th, it's a Friday and a Saturday, is the Charleston area witchy weekend. So there's the psychic fair and then the market and event on the 2 separate days. That'll be at the UU down in Charleston. And oh my gosh, I just, the name. So Phoenix is running it, but I'm completely drawn to blank at who their featured guest is. And she was there last year. She's a big role. Oh my gosh. I feel so lost. I'm sorry for going blank. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. Sorry, it drives me nuts whenever that happens. Silver Ravenwood. But anyway, she is doing an exclusive class on clearing your personalized divination, creating your personalized divination tool. That's a separate class that she is doing down there. So that's about as far as I know of events that's going on. If there's any markets or anything like that, vendors, you're looking for a place to go to West Virginia. It's WV Pagan Calendar as a group on Facebook. It is private because we got to keep the people that aren't of like-minded abilities away. It's a place for us to really be ourselves and keep up with one another. So, all right. Anything else, David, that we need to talk about?
And nothing I can think of right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we will cut this short then, finishing up for the night. But we will, good luck with your magic. And we look forward to seeing and hearing about things afterwards.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. And I will be back for Under the Rowan Tree / Cauldron readings on October 31st. And I will have the bone set out. I will be doing things from the cauldron with what decks that I do have at my availability. So we will see you then. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.